Hello, 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 and welcome once again. So, here we are looking at the same crappy missions we had yesterday. A destroy base, a capture base, an assassinate, which might just have a medium. I'll probably try the assassinate. Um, I'm not really wanting to help the Free Worlds League here, but I'm kind of desperate for some money because I might just do a couple missions here and then bounce to the next area. I think what we're going to do is, unfortunately, we are going to be fighting the Capellians, so we should expect tons and tons of ECM and cockpit upgrades and just all kinds of good stuff. So if I had started with because I actually have another Capellan Confederation game going, which again I believe is a Vindicator, Blackjack for my fire support, a white is my light, and what the heck was my other medium? Oh yeah, Centurion with the AC-10 and the two MML-5 multi-missile launcher 5 rockets. That group is sturdy enough to where when I go into like a destroy base and after taking obviously all the other units because I want to draw them away from the turrets. You never want to fight kind of underneath them. Uh, is our capture base with turrets? I think. Yeah, capture the base have the turrets too. Okay. Um, I just don't think my light mechs can survive the turret fire with the deep scans. Pulling off 2 evasion pips off of, it's just bad enough. You're likely to take a little bit of turret fire trying to pull the battle back. And like I said, I even had one game where they were deep scanning me so ridiculously far away, including those with my 2 mechs with NSSs on them, which should have a negative 35% detection range for sensors. I don't even know how they were managing to do that. It was pretty ridiculous. So, depending upon lance composition, you can get away with like the destroy base and the capture bases where you're having to deal with these turrets. But generally speaking, if you don't have, I would say, 2 very good sturdy mediums, I would personally say don't try it. My lights are actually honestly fairly sturdy, so I had been sitting here staring at this new day and everything uh, for like 20 minutes. Like, those are big paydays. I really don't want to jump system again right now. But I think we'll probably go for the easier corporate secrets here, and then we'll probably jump in for the week as well. I think we're going to go for the corporate secrets first because I'd like to keep a good balance, I think, of money here. I just need just a tiny bit, and even if the repairs are really bad off of these two, so I probably want, like 100,000 at least. But this is pretty good. This will give me 2 of 9, and this will give me a more than enough if things kind of go a little sideways to go ahead and get my repairs done. Because again, running a very, very light, fast group like this, even with that much evasion, eventually you're going to get unlucky and something like an AC-20 is going to pop you and you're going to lose some parts, and it's going to get very time intensive and it's going to get very expensive just in general to get the mech up and running again. I'm personally not a person that likes to do this right here anyways. I don't think there's any mechs that I really want in this part of the game. Generally finding multiples of like the Endo Steel, which is really good, although I didn't really need it on most of my mechs here. The Ferrous Fiber, double heat sinks, just the really good equipment. There's usually not too many pieces of it. That last one was quite nice. This is more to my liking. This means that I can, hit the store up. I could see what's in there, maybe suddenly to fit on my Centurion, like in my other game, just for example, there were 2 SRM 6s plus accuracy and I believe crit on them. That's really good. Those were at the beginning of the game, of course, but I think those were like 59,000 apiece. So I picked up a couple to trade out for the multi-missile launchers in order to fit on the null signature system and the ECM on it, because I believe I ended up putting the 3-tonner on that. So I just like having the extra money, because if I do go, that would be interesting, or if we come into the store here and I see something that there's just a load of, I'm kind of more set for it. I don't like riding the low end, and I don't think you really honestly get the value out of your salvage. It just doesn't sell for anything close to what the game tells you. I mean, it really doesn't. I'm trying to see what would be a fairly... Oh, that silver goss. So that was like told you a value of like $1 million, right? This is only like 153,000, partially because I think our rep's so low right now. We're paying 13% price increase, but I think that has to do with selling as well. So the numbers it gives you up here for what you salvage, that's highly inflated. Like, this was over $1 million. I don't remember how much it said it was worth now. But just going with the salvage, you're never going to make more money. I'd rather cut my salvage back just a little bit. And it's not to say you can't get a whole bunch of very expensive things off the randoms, which is very true. I just don't really see it as being worth it. I like to have the flexibility of the money in case something goes, again, a little sideways. I mean, here's Ultra AC5s. Honestly, they're pretty heavy. I wouldn't be able to put them on anything right now, but I'd like some Ultra AC5s. And if I had the correct mech, banking a little bit extra money does help, in my opinion. So I'm not a fan. I'm also not a fan of... We're going to try to take the one I think that's easier. I'm also not a fan of any time there is zero salvage. So I'm more a person that likes to play in these 3 lines right here, unless I'm just really desperate for money, or if the game happens to have... in fact, we're actually going to do... I mean, for 40,000... I think it's worth the extra piece of gear, because there's a lot of stuff I actually do need still at this point. That, and I don't have a lot of replacement gear, so I think we are going to go here for... I mean, how much was that? Like 63,000? I mean, yeah, the chances of me getting off the 4 randoms and the 1 extra pick... Excuse me, off the 4 extra items, 1 which I get a pick... Being 60,000, a bunch of them might be heat sinks and jump jets or ammo, and those they don't sell for anything. That's why I really find this to just be... I guess when you do this, you can choose the higher price items, but you just even we looked at a Goss that I know was over $1 million, and I'm getting 1/10 of the price of what the game in the salvage screen says I'm getting. So... I personally like to pull kind of more of a balance like this, or like this in many of my games. It really depends upon the numbers, though. Sometimes the... looks like the Cicada's still not quite up to snuff. I don't think I got full armor on it. That's what it was. So we did grab up the Tactician here, so we're going to be able to get a little more resolve gain. I'm not sure I'm so sold on precision shot anymore, if I'm going to just be... Because it's not precision shot, it's... Precision shot in the base game gives you an increase to your ability to hit, and the hit chances are already really good. And on top of that, the game doesn't tell you it, but in order to make the player not really pissed off that they're missing so many, like 40 or 50 shots, 50% in a row, which... I mean, we've seen it in my games, but we've seen strings where, obviously, I haven't said it, but man, that was a string of good hits. And I usually don't mention it, but you definitely notice when you get a string of bad hits. Well, to prevent players from getting upset about that, there's even a hidden chance inside just the regular game where it's gonna bump up some of those percentages to let you get a hit in. Even though, I mean, it's the game's playing it fair in the background. Well, it should be playing it fair in the background, but it's not. It's weighing a bit in your favor when you feel like, boy, a whole bunch of 50, 30, maybe 60%, whatever, in that area, it just have missed and missed and missed. The game's going to give you, going to put a finger on the scale a little bit for you. All right, let's go ahead and reserve back.
Let me know when you need me, Chief.
All right, so this is the best one I have for getting eyes. I'm just not a fan of a lot of these maps. They're just not big enough, in my opinion. Do I want to come and try to sweep along the back here? I don't think the mountains actually really have anything to do with the sensors in this. But, you know, there's just so few tactical. Here's the road. I want to come use the road and, you know, kind of come up and along and maybe along here and just come up. I'm running very hot, maybe into the water here. You can't do it. You just can't do it. I'm just not a big fan overall, so we'll reserve back, because it looks like they've been reserving back, at least with the one I can see.
Commander.
And we'll get the cicada going last, because if I get eyes on something, which I probably won't, they tend to stop just shy of being in sight range. They don't always manage it, though, I will say that. I do miss all my jump jets. I really do miss all my jump jets.
No shooting, just running. Got it.
Okay, it looks like this is the little area where they have to go on the beach. It looks like I got to go up right there as well. I might be out. No, I think that's a cliff face too.
I await your command.
The cicada, we're going to move it up, but we are not sprinting around with the cicada. I don't want it. I don't want it up there with the rest of my units. I want it sitting very far back, even with the low hit chances, which hopefully I get that master tactician up so that I can kind of maneuver a little bit and shoot. And then I just want to keep upping those hit chances, because that's, I think, the best way to handle it.
I'll wait here for now.
Okay, they've got something moving in the medium. Okay, the vehicle's moving in the light phase here. I think it's another vehicle up there. Just that's another mech.
I hear ya.
Ooh, that's deep water. I didn't realize that. Vindicator. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. In my Drakus Combine playthrough, in my Lyran Commonwealth playthrough, I'm much farther ahead, and in the One Skull missions, I was never running into medium mechs unless I did an assassination, and then you expect to see a mech heavier than the class you should be fighting. In the One Skulls, I should expect to be seeing these a lot. And I think it's literally all the periphery gear, this Lost Tech that you have the ability to get your hands on, normally is not something that you have in such... Oh, wow. You're being blocked by Gator, I guess. We're going to pull Gator just a little farther back. I'd rather they not see him and hopefully come too close. That's what we're going to try to do anyways. We'll see how it works.
What's up, boss?
Oh, I ran you up onto a hill, huh? Well, now my Vindicator's a little far back. Unfortunately.
I'm receiving you.
Okay, so we know about where the battle is. It looks like I can get into the water right here. I wish I would have noticed that little hill.
No shooting, just running.
It's even a little closer than what I like. I am not entirely happy with that. If we're going to reserve back again, I like to let them try to take the pop shots. What kind of Vindicator is this, actually? They got two medium mechs here. And this is the first One Skull mission I've done? Yeah, this is, I don't think the other medium is a vehicle. We see three mechs here, and we know that vehicle moves during the light. So we're dealing with, just this lance outweighs me, and I'm going to say it, there's usually more than one lance in these, so... PPC... Dang, I wish I could get you out of the water. I was kind of hoping I could get up right there. Let's reserve back, see if they're going to take some pop shots. We're going to pull the Vindicator up. Dang it. The water is so slow.
On the move. Full speed.
You gonna try to reserve again? You've already got somebody in sight. I don't know why you're worried about it now. I mean, see, this is the time for jump jets right here. You just get up on this little rock, and then I move forward, kind of fight in this area where they can't get around me too well. Oh well, no dice. Another Vindicator, okay. Oof. That was a brutal hit. And this is why I was afraid of this lance right here.
To go.
It seems like my lance is a little stronger than it is, if I'm just gonna be honest about it. So we have the ace pilot. If we shoot, those are 23s. If we move, those are 28s, and I get a 54. I think if I just get right up in its face. Very good. So let's torso twist quite a bit.
Affirmative.
And he's out of the water. Ooh. I did turn the left shoulder towards it. That's unfortunate. I should have maybe thought about that. Only 3 evasion pips though, so no ECM and stuff here. Thank goodness. I mean, that's just more evasion if I can hit here. So we're gonna do it. We're in the water, so we will actually sink more. We've got a quick draw. Quasimodo. I don't recognize that at all. 3 medium variable speed pulse lasers. Okay, 1 ER small, 1 ER mid, 2 ER, or 1 ER of each of the range types, and then 3 medium variable speed pulse, and then a wasp. Wasp should be fairly easy to take if I can just get behind it when it doesn't jump or something. What kind of armor values do you have? I mean, I hate splitting the fire, but I'm wondering if the better shot here is not really worth. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. Oh, and he's got the, probably should have shot over here. Well, he's in the trees too. What is that? That was a vehicle, I thought. Oh no, that was the wasp that jumped across. That is the vehicle still sitting back there.
What do you need?
Actually, I don't really want them shooting at my javelin quite yet, so let's pass back and see if we can't find a fairly easy scimitar. Is that AC-20? AC-5. Not too worried about the scimitar right now, especially with everything else on the field. If there's a second lance, we are in probably big trouble, though. I will come out and just right out and say it. .28s, those are terrible. I mean, if it's going to be 28s no matter... Ooh. Is that a 28? Yeah. So we'll take the closer shot here. Oh, we got him unsteady, but he gets to go right now. Okay, the evasion's holding up that 1 PPC. That's what I mean by unlucky. Now I just have to avoid a couple more unluckies there. Definitely less evasion now at this point.
Ready for orders.
So I think what we do is... Because that's the target I've already started pumping some rounds into. 26s. I mean, those are 32s. And it doesn't look like he might be able to get around my side, but not the back. So I think we're fine with that.
Got it.
Just got to keep chipping away. Alright, that's at my javelin. Machine gun lasers, gotta love them. That almost looks like a... Is that a hunchback model? Is that a hunchback model that's been slightly altered? Because that sure looks like one. So let's look at that. Nope, that is different. I don't recognize the model right off the top of my head. That almost looked like the Hunchback, but it's got a little bit different here. The head and the arms are definitely different. It just, from a long distance, it did look like a Hunchback, at least to me.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Maybe I'm a moron. Ooh, we can get a side shot. Look at that heavy PPC right there, and that's what we want. We are going to kind of straighten up versus this whatever that is. Left leg destroyed. Beautiful stuff.
Critical hit.
Knockdown, evasive, lost. It's not going to get a go till the 3rd round next time. All right.
Good to go.
The Venom does not run too hot. It really does not. We can get 3 right there, and since I don't run too hot, I want to just get up here and hopefully take that off. Or maybe punch through and deal some damage. Okay, unsettled. That's something. It's not great. Ooh, 2 unlucky hits on my javelin. And that arm's almost gone already.
I'm here.
Alright, so the javelin, we will run back. I mean, there's nothing I can really do with facing here. How beat up is that? Is it worth going to try to take out... What the hell? Oh, it's LRM. I thought that said LBX. Like, LBX? It doesn't have an AC any type on here. What does it have there? Ba-dum. And I really kind of want to just get out of the way of some of these. Can I mean, this will probably be the best. Maybe... I don't think the vehicle can get eyes on me. The Wasp might be able to, and if the Vindicator stands up, it can. So we're going to go ahead and come down here. Now we're going to go ahead and do an offensive push, because I want everybody to be able to pile onto this real quick. We're going to go for that shoulder again. Fusion core crit, another injury, with a head hit though.
Critical hit.
So we offensive pushed. How did it go back to... Oh, it had already fallen. I didn't have to use an offensive push there. I'm an idiot.
What can I do for you?
Which... It's the left? Ooh, but that, That's definitely a back shot on me, which we don't mind, but we don't really want to give them extra. Ooh, I mean, that's not full evasion, but you know what? I can bring the arc welders to bear right here. So we're going to try to take this Vindicator out right now. So I think we're going to focus on the center torso. If anything misses, I could probably take that off. There we go. Bye-bye, Vindicator. Ooh, there's a PPC left on the field. I would love a PPC if there's nothing better. I'm just a big fan of the PPCs. I know a lot of players, they really have liked the punchy mechs in this game, and I can't say I blame the players. Some of the punchy mechs in this game, I really think are honestly extremely good, but do I try to just get some firepower off the field, or do I, because this is fairly weak in the back, I can just pop it for a ton of damage. I think I can take a piece off the back, honestly, or if not... Oh, those are off the side. Yeah, in that case, I think we try to step on the Wasp. That's a 91 and an 85. Yeah, the Wasp can be very evasive too, very fast, a lot of jump jets. But it's very weak. Right leg taken out. And we should be able to hit with the Lance as well. There's right torso, right arm gone.
Forward at critical hit.
Alright, so we got 2 lights that can now try to take it out next turn, plus... Ooh, Okay, am I blind? I swear there's one that keeps popping up that had 2 hits on it. Okay, that's not for the Wasp. I think we're going to... Boy, that's so close. I don't want to be anywhere resembling that close to these mechs. So what we're going to do is just back up a little bit and I think take a shot at... Do we just take the shot and just hope he doesn't come for me? No, that's a lot of firepower. That will hurt me. So we sprint back. We're definitely going to lose some hit chances here, but I'm going to try to get out of sight of that big nasty guy, which it doesn't look like we were able to do. Yeah, I saw that. Not a big deal. We actually have taken some damage here, but not terrible. Thankfully, we don't have like ridiculously low armored strikers, because that would be... you know what? We're gonna have Gator try to do it. I hate to bring him... Really hate to bring him more into to combat here. Kind of put him versus everything. Can I get a good torso twist? I cannot.
I hear ya.
Okay, it looks like the Wasp got pushed back actually farther than I thought. It's moving during the heavy phase. So I think what we do is... we try to open up the back of this thing, I think.
Coordinates received. Firing everything I've got.
Wow, and you basically missed the back of that with everything you had. That is so good. We're going to let this try to move first because I don't want it taking a shot on my Javelin if I don't have to. Alright, it went after the Vindicator, my more heavily armored version, and it's opened its back up.
I'm hit.
The injury does hurt on my main guy right here. On my main A squad, though.
Ready for orders.
That actually might block your path. You know what? We're gonna try to take the Wasp out with my long range Cicada. Again, I'm a little closer, but he can't quite cross that little path there. So, okay, Wasp is down. Great. Now I can focus on the big guy. Well, in the vehicle that I apparently am not allowed to hit in the back. All right, so got to get the hit. Got to get the hit. Structure exposed. Beautiful. 31 left. Oh, engine destroyed. Good stuff.
Standing by.
Alright, so now we do not sprint. Oh, yeah, we have to sprint. 51s. Doesn't matter. That'll work.
Copy that.
Now we're going to go for an offensive push because I want to get a couple rounds of attacks here. We'll try to shoot the side there. It's only 23s. Again, the offensive push versus called shot.
Negative damage.
One gives you the bonus to hit, one gives you a negative, but they both push back. I think this is honestly far more balanced. And I find myself actually wanting to, or thinking I should have used Vigilance a lot, which in the campaign, I didn't beat it. I did make it, definitely far enough to really kind of make my mind up on things. I just,
All weapons are go.
really? And I didn't move right there, so... Oh, we can move afterwards. I forgot. I am an extremely fast little pilot.
Waiting for orders.
It's the right side. I mean, I'm facing the right side. All you got to do is hit with something.
Giving them everything.
In the right side, obviously. Well, again, ace pilots, though. This is the great thing about it. Okay, my Vindicator's still taking a little beating here.
Light damage. Holding firm.
I'm your spaniel.
Alright, do we get it? There we go. Beautiful stuff.
Reporting one less vehicle.
I don't know why I'm reserving.
Waiting for orders.
We're going to sprint on ahead.
Waiting for orders.
Oh, I can come down off that side, too. Nice.
Metal.
Come on, hurry up.
Yes, Commander. On my way. Double time.
My poor Cicada's going to be like a million miles behind everything else. I think this thing's got a smaller fusion core than most cicadas have. Because it's not fast like a light like a cicada should be. And it still doesn't have the armor, so I'm thinking most of that went into,
Hell yeah.
honestly, a bunch of weaponry. That might be the only lance here, though, I will say that.
Waiting on you, Commander.
There could be another lance, though, and the thing is, this is right in the corner, so I do probably want to wait till my cicada's a little closer. I don't want a bunch of things spawning, like, literally right on top of my cicada and just smashing it to pieces. So I probably want to get my cicada at least up into that area right there before I... I think it's the end, though? I guess we're going to do it, but I'm going to feel really stupid. I just really am... Okay.
Aye, aye.
You know what? Reserve back. I want to see where the cicada gets to, and we're gonna try to keep my weakest javelin alongside the cicada. Very smart of me. I am the wind.
Good to go.
Well, I got a little fire support back here with him, if something happens. Might be able to screen with the javelin or something.
Receiving you.
Honestly, the Venom, that thing could dodge for days. We're going to bring the Vindicator on back. Just in case.
The asset has been secured and is ready for retrieval.
All targets eliminated. Okay, so there we go. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. We're in a... And I'll point out my mech, because it's showing me as a 1.5 star. Well, maybe I'll just do that before we... Ooh, I think I just lost points with my faction that I'm working with. Oh well, whatever. So yeah, in the 1 stars, you should be expecting already to deal with mechs that you don't want to. So PPC good, but I really would rather replace one of my mediums. So unless there's something really good down here, we're going to be going with a medium. We're going to be going with 2 mediums, excuse me. And I already have Vindicator parts, I believe. Come on. PPC, maybe the AC5. Where the hell was the Wasp at? Did anybody else see Wasp parts there? Okay, maybe, whatever. ER medium laser, actually that's not bad. I could probably throw that on the Venom if I'm going to be honest. No double heat sinks, that's something I would have liked to have gotten my hands on, and the PPC. Oh well, can't win them all. Can't win them all. So yeah, I'm going to just extend this because I don't think that was a terribly long battle. But we're going to extend this just a hair so I can show you what the game's saying my lance looks like. Now, this is a lance with a medium mech and 3 lights, mind you. I don't want to waste the time because everything takes forever to load. But I'm tempted to jump into like my Karita game and show you just how different the lance threat levels are. So let's go into contracts. I mean, it really doesn't matter because we're not doing it. Oh wait, I gotta wait for my mechs to be repaired here. All right, is the slowest one at the front? All right, so that's it right there.
Job's done, Commander.
Okay, so that's unfortunate that Behemoth got injured in that last battle, but let's just go ahead and just take a little peek here. So let's go ahead and negotiate. Sure, we're not actually taking this mission. All right, there we go. So drop cost, lance weight 150 tons, lance rating. My lance rating was never over 1 at this point when I was doing 1 skull missions. How many battles am I into the game now? This is my 4th, 5th battle. Generally, I started my 1 skulls a little earlier because there was the nothing but base taking ones. With this lance setup, I know better than to try that. Oh, I should have armored up my cicada with that extra day or whatever I had there. But you can see here my lance rating is showing me already at 1.5 skulls, meaning they're saying I should be taking on 1.5 skull missions, and so they're throwing mechs at me that are not 1 skull. They're actually popping because I didn't change the base settings here, which means the difficulty scales with my lance, not with the planet, because that's your other choice. It scales with the lance. Now, this gives you some good idea what you're going to find in here. But the 1 skulls, I think it's all the lost tech. I really do. I can't possibly figure out what else it would be because this is not like this is not what I'm seeing in my other playthroughs. And I actually haven't got a bunch of cockpit upgrades. That's something I normally had actually gotten. So a little funky there. And as soon as I hit my first 1 skull mission, boom, right off the bat. So I think that what we're just basically looking at is the boatloads of... You've actually got heavy Pharaoh on? What the hell are you? Oh, you're my cicada. Okay, never mind. You're not. You're the only one I didn't want to look at. So it's not that I have really optimized my weapon loadout really any stronger than my Drakus Combine or my Lyran Commonwealth playthroughs. The only real difference is I might have like a ECM across those other playthroughs. I think in the Drakus Combine you start with a PPC capacitor, so I definitely have one of those. The only thing I can see that's changed, and some of those lances are heavier lances, and honestly are better lances than this right here in my opinion, is I have all of this, not weaponry, but very, very good gear that really seems to just be bumping me up into a more difficult rating. And if that's not it, I don't know. But I will tell you, when you start getting to those 1 skull missions, if you're playing WoW and you start looking at the way I'm playing and you start doing it, the game is going to tell you your lance is stronger than what it is. Be prepared to fight some medium mechs with, honestly, what might be some okay or some pretty terrible lances. because you're going to get 3 lights fairly off. Well, I mean, I haven't really jumped in too much. Enough, though, to where I have seen 3 lights quite a few times. And even like one of the times my second medium was an assassin, which moves during the light phase in a pretty kind of the middle ground between a light and a medium. I really do like the quirk on that, by the way. But the other 2 mechs I had in that game, I had a long range assassin, a Jenner, just the basic Jenner for lasers SRM4, and I had a Javelin, which was 2 SRM6s, I believe. So I had like 2 paper light mechs. I mean, when I say paper, their armor was paper. Even just a handful of random missile hits would take body parts off of them. The assassin was the only thing I could carry with my long-range support guns. Looking back on it, I probably should have armored up just as much as I could on the Javelin and the Jenner. The Jenner doesn't have a lot of option there, because it's really not... It carries so many weapon systems, it's very hard to really get anything else onto it. And I probably could have bought the Cicada into a more close-range role. It's the first time I tried... No, excuse me, second time I tried Lao. And I didn't realize the Vindicator, if I was going to continue using the Plasma Cannon at the time, that I probably should have been actively looking for some flamers, maybe even some cheap ones off the store or anything like that. It didn't connect to me that, wow, that's a 100 damage weapon, but I have to overheat them. How do I overheat them? Actually, I probably could have done it on the Jenner build and really... Because the Jenner runs so hot with the null signature system on it, it was ridiculously hot. I probably in that game should have taken the Jenner, put some flamers on it, really let the Vindicator just take those back shots with that 100 plus damage plasma cannon and just start blowing things up left and right. Which includes probably pulling the Guardian ECM off of the Vindicator because I would want the... What is it? No, you have the Angel ECM, so it must be on the Spider here. I don't remember what the other ECM you get. The Warframe Suite, because the Warframe Suite, instead of making you one harder to hit, actually gives you 1 accuracy with ranged weapons. So that would almost let me offset the refire penalty, so that I could just heat up mechs with the Jenner, and then I could turn around and get back shots and just blow pieces off of them with the Vindicator. Live and learn. Live and learn. It was my second game, and I hadn't understood how to still properly play the Lance with the gear that you start with, because this does play very different from the Drakus Combine. It does play extremely different from the Lyran Commonwealth. Yeah, so sorry to blather on for probably 10 minutes there at the end. I just kind of wanted to give some of my personal thoughts on why I think the difficulty jumps and why I think this is the hardest faction. Not just that it's going to throw bigger mechs at you. You happen to be fighting in an area with all kinds of cockpit upgrades, all kinds of ECM, all kinds of stealth systems. So they're just extremely hard to hit, and you run into some... Especially if you're fighting against the Capellan Confederation, I found some massive laser boats when I was just doing it for local planetary governments against the Capellan Confederation. They got some mean little commandos. They got some mean little fireflies. They got some just laser boat versions. They can't fire very much, but they throw out enough. Even with all of your evasion, you start getting hit. There's also tons, not just of the ECM, tons of tag, tons of narc beacons, and narc beacons that ignores 2 evasion pips and it's +2 accuracy. So it really helps combat the way you build your lance. In fact, I'd really like to take the Venom here, probably pull off the arc welders, and I'd probably pull the medium pulse down to just a medium laser if I could fit a narc beacon on here, because I would love to be able to start getting some better hit chances versus some of the stuff that we just run into in this area. So it's a combination of the gear you start with. If you utilize it properly, your lance looks stronger than it honestly is, in my opinion. But on top of that, the lances you're fighting against also happen to have all this gear, which kind of plays against the whole early game where it's extremely hard to hit with things. In fact, I would say I had really contemplated completely redesigning the way I had been building my mech warriors in the other game and how I utilize them to basically at least get 3 gunnery on everything, and then not 3 gunnery, 4 gunnery, excuse me, but not pick up the multi-target here. Go get 4 gunnery on everything so I have that extra hit chance, especially since I'm also sprinting around like crazy, and from there move out to the important skills. Is it worth it to get you through the early game hump to basically push your late game back? I don't know. Haven't tried it. It's an interesting concept to me overall, and it was something before I had started the Let's Play that I really gave strong consideration to. Get everybody, +8. It doesn't seem like a lot for +8% hit chance. Of course, that really backs things up like your ace pilot, which is extremely good. I haven't been utilizing it a lot. I probably should be a little bit more. But like the end there where you see the whatever little vehicle they have right there, I took my shots with my lights with the better hit chance, and then I was able to move them. Do I get max evasion that way? No. But I think when you move into the cleanup phase, or if you happen to have separated one mech, or one mech's a little faster and it's way out in front of the rest, and you don't think you're going to take... You're not going to be punished for not having that evasion, which I probably have not made the best decisions in that regards every time. There's probably a case to be made for both going the ace pilot route and going the better hit rate chance or route. So, anyways, enough rambling from me. That was just kind of my thoughts on it. I did throw something up on the Nexus mod forums, and everybody was, well, not everybody. There was one person that answered. He's like, "No, I didn't notice that at all." I wonder if he really geared up his stuff right out the gate like I do, and was kind of utilizing an Angel ECM as well, so that everything he's got has ECM. Because this has happened to me every single time. So at this point, I'm starting to think, yeah, there's something to allow. That actually just kind of makes everything a combination of, hey, this faction actually happens to be a little bit harder than everything else. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time.